We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. I'll ask for in return if you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. It helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. So here we are with ATER. We're going to look at the data together, what 42 Vision is showing on the 30-minute and 1-day chart, and everything that's going on with the stock. Has it short squeeze? Is it beginning to short squeeze? Where does it stand? But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunities I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And if that's something that interests you, check out the link down below. And we're going to jump right into it here with ATER. So the home runs of the day were spectacular, even though the S&P 500 index continues to struggle to get back up to all-time highs and is having a red day and pulling down lower, as well as portfolios are sitting sideways or in the red. I will continue to look for opportunities daily, and this is something you can become part of as well. Check out the link down below in the description to the Discord, and by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So these are the stocks I mentioned this morning: ZIVO, EDSA, SYBX, and CRVS. This was our worst performer of the day, SYBX giving us a 5 to 15% jump. But let's go ahead and look at the home runs of the day. They were spectacular. So CRVS was a home run on Friday. I mentioned it again. It looked like an opportunity, and it jumped up nearly 10 to 20% within a few minutes. Then it pulled back, and can I tell you that patience paid off, because it took off to a highest point of 35% plus at the time of this screenshot, guys. This was phenomenal. Now, we also have here ZIVO. It was pulling back in the pre-market, sitting sideways when I mentioned it, jumped up for a 5 to 10% move, pulled back down, and took off to a highest point in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes after the bell of 40% plus, and it continued to give multiple opportunities after it pulled back and jumped up every single time, 10 to 20%. And our other home run of the day was EDSA, and since I mentioned it in the pre-market, it jumped up nearly 10 to 20% at its highest point after the bell, and from that point forward, it got rejected and it fell for about 30 minutes. And after that 30-minute pullback, and here you could see it with 42 Vision when it was going into further weakness, and the reversal with strength back up, within just a few minutes, it was back up 10 to 20%. It sat sideways a little bit, having its jumps of 5 to 10%, 10 to 15%, but constantly moving upwards, all the way up to the point where it took off to a highest point of 40% plus at the time of the screenshot. But if you look at the stock, how it performed at its highest point of the day, it went beyond this, almost reaching 50 to 70% plus on the day, guys. If you want to become part of this and you want to know what stocks we watch daily, you're more than welcome to join us, and we look forward to having you join us. Check out the link down below in the description to the Discord, and let's jump into these charts. So here we are with ATER, and ATER has had a nice bounce, and this turns out to be a home run from the YouTube videos, right? We've been talking about this one as it pulled down, why it pulled down, as it consolidated, and we were looking for this reversal, right? That shift here with 42 Vision of it going upwards, pulling back down on the 30-minute, and there's that strength. And now we're having a shift back to the downside. Now it had a big move from that dip down here of 914 all the way up to 1345. And we're going to break down some things here, because on the 1 day, things look a little different. There's been a shift here, right? From that dip, it didn't go any lower, it didn't shift to red, it didn't shift to extremely downward pressure. If not, it held itself up. It was turning sideways, and I did talk about that last week, as it was trying to kind of look like a reversal or consolidation. I was going to be watching that closely, and now we have a shift from red borders and green to green with green and an upward trend. If it can hold it up, it might shift back up to green with momentum and push up even higher. So this is something to definitely watch. This is something to definitely be aware of. And we got to look at the short interest and everything going on, because there is some strength here in today's move, and a lot of the shorts possibly have covered. But we're going to look at why it seems, based off the data, that they didn't cover at all. And if they didn't, that just means more potential to the upside, possibly, if bulls continue to hold, continue to put pressure, and force the shorts to cover. But remember, the days to cover is the one thing I don't like. And if some of the shorts have covered, it means that they've been able to get in and get out of their short positions and reposition themselves. And I'm going to show you guys why, based off the data, some shorts may have covered and then all of a sudden got their short shares back, but at a higher price, hoping to bring this down beyond where it's at right now. We're going to look at this together. So the short squeeze score is still pretty high. It's at 97.12. Borrow fee rate went down from 106 to 100, right? And then the days to cover went up a little bit. And this is a good sign. The higher this goes, the bigger it could squeeze. I want you guys to understand that. It was at 0.06. Now it's at 0.07. That's not a big difference, but this is still a days to cover I don't like, due to the fact that the shorts can cover pretty quickly and then reposition themselves to new short shares, right? The higher the days to cover, the bigger the pressure is for them to get in and get out and manipulate the stocks, as a lot of people would say they do, right? So the short interest is 36%. That is still pretty high. That hasn't gone down. So if the stock is moving and shorts have not covered at all, then that means that this is moving with strength thanks to the bulls. And if the bulls don't hold or push it even higher to force shorts eventually to cover, they themselves will hand it all back to the shorts, giving them leverage, right? And I've talked about that in the previous videos. Now, when we look here, right, at the short shares available, 0, okay? Now, another thing I talked about is how short shares volume has gone down last week, right? On Thursday, on Friday. And it seems that today, once this releases today's information, which is for 9/20/2021, on today's chart price action, I'm assuming it's this low or even lower. And the lower short share volume is out there. That's because of the fact that there's no more short shares to actually short. And it's creating that effect where there's less shorts and there's more bulls. And we see it here. So those shorts that have their positions may have covered or may have not. That's why the data is not too accurate, because days to cover changed a little bit. It went up by 0.01. Short shares, there's 0. And there's been times where all of a sudden there's 10,000 available, 30,000 available, and then they disappear. And that days to cover is what I don't like. They're allowed to go ahead and cover really quickly and then reposition themselves to be shorts again. What we want is for the bulls to put enough pressure on the shorts so that the shorts don't stay as shorts. They're forced to become bulls, and it creates these type of explosive squeezes. So far, we're in the beginning of it. Doesn't seem like we've squeezed fully. Doesn't seem like shorts have really covered. And if they have, they've been doing their tactics of getting in, getting out, and re-shorting again at new levels. But this is putting a lot of pressure on them anyways, due to the borrow fee rate and also how many short share volume is in the stock per day. There's less every single day. I mean, compare it to what it was before and where it's at now, right? In the 20s. So right now, the stock, the first thing I would be looking at is this support, 1151. If that gets broken through, the next point of reference is the lowest point of the day down here at 1020. And that is something I'm going to be watching very carefully and see if the bulls can hold up above that, or if the bears are coming in and pushing this down. But to the upside, we want to see this shift from actually green with red borders back up to green and get into that upward momentum again and strength, as well as break through the resistance here of 1346. If that can be broken through and held above and used as support, the bulls can possibly continue to push up higher, eventually making shorts have to cover for a possible squeeze even higher than we've seen. But look at this transition here as I'm doing this video live, that it just went from red border with green to red border with red. And that is right there a very bearish sign. Still something to watch, because on the 1 day, things have not changed. There's still some strength here. We're going to go ahead and see if this can continue this upward trajectory, or if it's just going to reverse right away, right back down. But this seems to be some strength here. We're just going to have to see how things hold up and play out going into tomorrow and the rest of this week. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.